As the kiddos head back to school, it's also time for yearly exams and sports physicals. But something may also be going undetected: scoliosis. Ohio doesn't require testing for the condition, so Akron Children's Hospital is doing something about it. Jen Pachano shows how to detect it yourself, and is as easy as putting on sunscreen.
To look at this Akron teenager, at least at first glance, you'd never notice something was amiss.
There was no indication. Her hips were not lopsided. Her shoulders weren't crooked or lopsided.
But a regular well check when Cameron McGaw was just 14 led to a scoliosis diagnosis, or a curvature or twisting of the spine.
I didn't feel any pain at all. Like, even how big the curve was, there was no pain at all, tumbling, walking, or anything.
I mean, that made me sick to my stomach. When I saw those x-rays, I started crying.
Cameron's mom, Julie, says doctors at Akron Children's Hospital indicated this was serious and needed to be addressed immediately. When physical therapy failed and a brace, which usually is pretty effective in many patients, wasn't an option here, Cameron was faced with spinal surgery to correct the curve, which had worsened from 42 to 53 degrees in just 6 months.
So scared, like I couldn't think the rest of the day.
Putting it off would only make surgery more risky and the recovery harder. So Cameron underwent corrective surgery for her scoliosis. Akron Children's is hoping that other parents will take this time of year to examine better or closer their own children's spine while they're applying sunscreen, for instance, through their new initiative, Spine Screen. Dr. Lorena Flocari says scoliosis starts to emerge when kids are 10 to 14 years old.
It typically happens right around the big teenage growth spurt. And so that's generally when we're looking for it and recommending that we screen for it.
They recently held an outreach event at Edgewater Park, hoping to show parents exactly what to look for.
When you're looking at the shoulder blades, if they don't look equal side to side, if the hip line or the waist looks different side to side, where one side is higher than the other, that could be another sign too.
Dr. Flocari says left uncorrected, scoliosis can lead to serious problems later in life.
If the curve gets really big, that twisting can impede the lungs from functioning properly. It can lead to pain. So curves that are over 50 degrees and aren't treated, the studies show that long-term pain is a big concern later in life.
To say Cameron's surgery and recovery was a success story is an understatement. To everyone's surprise, she's tumbling again, even with 2 rods and 15 pins in her back.
Well, I stayed in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. By the time summer ended, I was doing activities like swimming, roller skating.
Her mom says parents or even peers should make a check of your teen or preteen spine a regular part of your back to school routine.
It is easy enough for a parent just to check. Anyone could check. Friends, these girls, they're in so many tumbling classes together, sports, you don't have to have any back pain or any visual issues to have a curve in your spine, and that's what's scary.
Jen Pachano, 19 News.